And I woke up to the gunshots. And even though I had not heard gunshots in a long time, I knew what they were.
Right.
And I came outside and I saw Rodney and the young man, which at that time I thought they were fighting.
Right.
And so I broke them up, like, what the F is going on?
Yeah.
And Rodney dropped to the ground, and the young man, fled.
Right. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
My condolences.
But after Rodney was transported to the hospital, they wouldn't allow. I was the only person there, so they wouldn't allow me to leave the crime scene.
Okay.
And I'm giving you all this context just to.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna try to spend too long with it, but I think it's important.
It is and take all
because
the
this
space
was
you need.
the point where I feel like God started that
Right.
walk. And they wouldn't let me leave. They
Right.
moved me from the backyard where they were processing, but they couldn't get me off the ground. Like, I'm sitting on the ground. I could not get off the ground. And I'm holding dirt. I look back at it, I don't know if I realized it at the time, but I'm holding dirt. Because when something like that happens, you don't even know what's going on. You're just in a trance.
Right.
And I remember I kept looking at the dirt, and I kept looking at my home, my beautiful home, my privacy fenced-in backyard home nestled in suburbia.
Right.
And I'm looking at dirt because dirt represents prosperity. It represents land. It represents what you've accomplished, right? On your land.
Right.
And I was like, what was it all for? Like, how did I go from living in the hood, selling drugs, even at a time in my life, all these things that could have resulted in death,
Right.
that didn't. And we here, and my kids, my youngest at the time was 27. So all the kids,
Grown.
my biological children, were all on the other side of 25.
Right.
So for Black mother,
Right.
life, our biggest fear, this was right after George Floyd, was of them being killed by the police.
Right.
I was never in my mind would I have thought that he would have been killed in this type of situation.
In your backyard at a pool party gathering.
And I think that all of those things that scenario needed to happen for me, because it allowed me to be able to look at this as not an other.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That it became important to me to be able to get other people to understand that this is not, gun violence is not a Black issue.
Right.
It's not a poor issue. It's not a, everybody's listening to hip hop issue.
Right.
We are at a time where we all live off of instant gratification. We have poor impulse control.
Right.
Even the best of us sometimes be like, damn, I wish I hadn't did that. I wish I hadn't said that.
Right.
And when you couple that with an access to a weapon, that there's no time, individuals who are, and I'm not anti-gun. I'm just anti-easy access to weapons. And that people need to be responsible. Right. The likelihood in this world of people being responsible is not going to happen though right now,
Yeah.
So